Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself upstairs on the show this evening. I shouldn't laugh. As the one and only Southside and the legend that is all bear. Evening, boys.
Evening, mate. How are you two?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. You?
Excellent, mate. Excellent.
Oh, Southside?
Aye, mate, good. Good to be on the night with Albert and your good self. Looking forward to the show, and we'll give a shout out to the troops on our YouTube feed.
Sean, Declan, and Paddy.
No, Wallace, Stephen, and William, and Scotty boy. So, yes.
Right, okay.
Loyal troops on there.
It'd be fair to say we'll get a game on Sunday, and it's fell into insignificance because there was a press conference, right? So we will talk and get that out of the way and try and get back to the football because we have got a game on Thursday. Because we are a football team, Albert. Yeah.
You wouldn't think that with a carry on it's going on, but we're a football team, mate. Don't lose sight of that.
And before we go to the manager's press conference, I think you've got a few observations. Southside, somebody's been doing some homework. Ooh.
Oh, have we? Have we? Oh, I'm sure it'll be immaculate homework then if it's...
Oh, steady now. I don't know well. Steady now.
No, is it not immaculate? No, all right.
It's not immaculate. I mean, it's just a wee observation.
Rooms for
it's not an observation. Aye, not an observation, mate.
Does it contain
a few facts?
A list by any chance?
Oh, it's always a list, mate. It's always a list. I like a list, you know that.
It's about 8 pages. Oops.
Right. I've reduced it down to 7.5 when I'm trying.
So, if we go and mute, I'll give you a phone and then we can come back on after the tune, right?
Aye, might as well. Maybe order something to eat enough, just eat or delivery or anything like that.
He's going to have a night off.
Right, let's hear it.
Oh, they want a list that's of players that have league games have played or not played, right?
How did this come about then? What you try?
I'm trying to show where the money's went to in Rangers. That's one of the things I'm trying to show, and how bad the management's been up until present time. You know what I mean? It's and where they've spent the money and how it's all dwindled out the club. It's pretty poor, mate. It's pretty poor. I think we all know it, but if you look at it, we only picked 15 players, mate, and went through the 15 players. How many league starts? Just league starts they started, and how many league games they should have started if they were fit for the full season. So you're not expecting them to be fit for the full season, but it shows you the widening gap between what they've actually started to what they should have started, and it's frightening, mate. It really is frightening. Then taking their average wage, which just took it out 15 grand a week with paying. I know it's no reflective. It's just a conservative look at the wages and how much that's cost us over the last few years. It's frightening, mate. It really is frightening. See if you agree with them. We'll go through them and see if you agree.
Okay, so what did you do? You carry on to the team for last night and you sort of had a teammate, did you?
Aye.
Okay, let's hear it then. Let's hear it.
Well, do you want me to just rhyme off the players?
Aye, let's hear the players. Yeah.
And then we'll go back and talk about what they've done and what they've spent, what was spent, and things like that. Right, the players are McLaughlin, Sterling, Ridvan, Helander, Suter, Jack, Lawrence, Hadji, Matondo, Roof, Danilo, Davis, Casemiro, Dowell, and Cortez. And on those, there's plenty more we could have added on there, but we'll just concentrate on them. It gives you a flavour of what we're thinking about. You know what I mean? It's nuts, mate. It's nuts. It also gives you a direction where the club's going and what they're trying to sort out.
All right, within their players, there's been bad luck, good luck, loss of form, no getting selected, but there's a lot of them no turned up for their work. This common phrase, yeah.
Yeah, Yeah.
All right.
So that's basically it, mate. We're just looking at to see what they could have played. And
Right, give us it then. Let's hear it.
right, so you've got McLaughlin to start with, right? He could have played started 114 games. I know he was a substitute keeper, so it's a wee bit unfair on him. But he's actually there 3 years and he's only started 29 games. Right, that's one right away. Sterling, for example, 57 games he could have started. He's actually started 19 a year and a half. Ridvan, 95 games he could have started. He's actually started 32 in 2.5 years. Erlander, 114 games, 35 in 3 years. Suter, 47 games, 95 games. He actually started 47 in 2.5 years. Jack, 106 in 7 years, which comes into it. I can't remember, 150 odd games.
7 years comes into 266, mate.
266 it was, that's right, you're right. 266. You've got Lawrence, 95 games. 23 he's actually started in 2.5 years. Hadji, 190 games, 59 games in 5 years. Matondo, 95 games, 18 games in 2.5 years. Roof, 152, 33 games in 4 years. Danilo, 57 games in a year and a half, 11. Davis, 76, 33 started in 2 years. Casemiro's he's only been there 6 months, so 19 games, he started 2. Dowell, 57 games, started 7 in a year and a half. And Cortez, he's been here for a year. He's 38 games, 6 he started. Total games they should have played is 1,520 if you're totaling them all up. What they've actually played between them all is 460. Frightening, mate. Frightening. If you take their average wage, and I know it's just an average wage, a 15 grand a week. I know some are a lot more and some are not quite as much, but 15 grand a week for all the games, you're talking about. So you're talking minimum of £15 million, probably going up to the 20, 25 million mark, mate. That's where the money's going. This is what you're looking at. This is what you're thinking, well, what's going wrong? What's wrong? It's Rangers. How we know winning things? How we know doing it? You're talking about most of the players turn up for what, say, play 70, 75 games of the season, 75% of that of the season. You're winning plenty, mate. If you're not winning, you're challenging for everything. And that's the problem we've got. And we've had it for years. It's not just this season we come on and last season. We've had it for years, mate. And we need to get to the boat, mate.
Interesting. Southside. Interesting.
Aye, 100%. Certainly interesting. And a massive, massive gap in the amount of games that some players could have played. There's one. Going to break down Hadji for me, right? Mm-hmm. Because he's here longest, right? 6 seasons. We got him on loan, and then he went in and he played, and he was instrumental in the winning 55. He played off the right. He done well in Europe in games, set up goals, assisted. Then he gets his injury. So was he played less just before his injury when Gio came in?
He was actually in form, mate, when he took his injury. He was actually really in form.
Aye, so he would have been playing quite a number of games, and then obviously he comes out injured, and then he goes away for 6 months and all apart it. So he's really got near enough 2 seasons away for the club, isn't he? Technically, between injury and no getting a game under Beale when he come back ready to play, and then he shipped him out and loaned to that mob, and he was out there. Then he come back, and we still couldn't play him really in the first team. So he's probably about the only one that I would take some length of his that off his sort of time at the club, although the figures are what they are.
Aye. It's the point you're trying to make that all these guys, there's different reasons why they're not. If you take did you say Danilo as well there? Did you mention Danilo, Albert?
Aye.
Well, he's had that. I mean, he's had that smack in the face, but he's only about his 4th injury. But aye, I get that. Hadji, I mean, it's a knee reconstruction and an Oculus tackle and a Scottish Cup tie at Ibrox, when we used to win them against a lower league team, and he's unlucky, but still, what the point is, you're making bang for buck here.
Bang for buck, mate. People know showing up for their work for various reasons, you say, but the bottom line is why they're not showing up for their work. There's some of them are genuine. Look, Hadji, there's genuine injuries. I'm not saying there's no genuine injuries, but it's a length of time they're out. Everybody's going to take injuries in their career, and well, especially at Rangers, I suppose, but they're going to take injuries in their career. It's a length of time they're taking to come back, man. I mean, somebody there, it's 2.5 years, no? I mean, 2.5 years, and you've got the opportunity to play 95 league games, right? And you've actually played 32, started 32. Now, I know there's ones come on as subs and all that, but we're just talking about these players. I'm saying they're all, when they get signed, they're signed as first-team players, mate. They're not signed as substitutes and backup players. These are all signed. Every one of these were signed as first-team players. So that was one of the rationale behind it as well. So you're looking at that, 2.5 years, 95 games, played 32. There's only about 3 of them, or 2 of them, have actually played a full season, all combined a full season of 38 games. Only 2, Jack and Hadji, are the only 2 that's actually get over the 38 mark. It's ridiculous. I mean, okay, with Cortez, he's only here a year, and Casavero's only here 6 months, basically. They're fair enough, but they're already starting off in the rank. Sterling, Cortez, Casavero, and there's another one, all starting off the rank fit. Cortez, Daniel. I said it the other day, they're starting to get in the crosshairs of what Roof and all that was. We need to jump in this the new with these boys and say, look, this can't keep you happening. We need to resolve this one way or the other with these boys to get them back on the pick and get them to their work and contributing to the Rangers first team and winning games. But anyway, it's just something different to get away from what we've been talking about all week.
Is that surprising, Southside? Are you no shocked at all? Or when you see the actual numbers, it's frightening?
Obviously, you cast back your mind. Like, I mean, you get Ryan Jack in there who picked up injuries and sort of was out the team for large spells, but when he was in the team, we all appreciated what he brought to the team. I
like Ryan.
So did I. I did like Ryan Jack. I think he was a heartbeat of the team, and in there with Stephen Davis and Kamara and that. It certainly worked, and even you added to that when we bring Aribo into a midfield and that. But Ryan Jack, when he was fit for the job he done and the understanding of his game and how he could hold the ball and that, and he done things simple, was there. But we know he was out for large spells. You just maybe not actually take the numbers in until you're maybe hearing it. Cortez, I feel sorry for, because it's been 3 different types of injuries that he's took. And he's just in the door, and it's a player we've spent money on, and we want to get him fit. So going forward, I'd like to hope that he'll come back and produce numbers. So you're saying for when we signed him, Albert, he could have played 38 games?
38 league games. There's no counting cup games and European games. It's just this is all just league. The very thing that we want to win is the league. So if they're going to turn up for the work, you want to turn up in these games. Ready to start. And by the way, see the 15 players, I don't dislike any of the 15 players when you sign them, because they signed as all first team players. Every one of them signed a first team player, apart from McLaughlin. He wasn't signed a first team player. But I'm not saying I dislike these players, but see if these players turned up when they were at Ibrox and played regular, we're winning things, mate. There's no doubt about it. We're winning things. But they don't turn up. It's no good sitting in the stands. They use all these injuries and taking this amount to recover for these injuries, and that's the point you're trying to make. But again, the biggest point out of all is the money you've spent in these players, and you get nothing out of them for large parts of the seasons.
Give his totals again, Albert. Give the totals.
But the games they could have played was 1,520. What they actually played was 460 between them. And then you're talking about I took it as £15,000 a wage per week. It's going to be more for like Matondo and all that. We just try to average it out. And that transpires into 1,000 games. We need done 15 on it. That's 1,000 games is £15 million. It's nuts.
That's without transfers and bonuses and all that.
It's without any of that. Cup games.
That's blowing my mind a bit. Southside.
Aye, and we've been paying hefty wages to quite a lot of players for some time, and like I saying, that's just an average of it. Albert's done it, and we know the wages for certain players would have been higher, some would have been round about that mark. some might have been on that mark and moved up our period of time as well. That's how we've been trying to get the whole club needs restructured. So, and we look at the money and what we've done with Gio getting money to spend and Bill getting money to spend, and then the wages that players were put on to what we've had today now at the start of this season. We're having to let players go virtually for nothing to get them off the wage bill to save money for us, because some clubs probably no take them at that type of wage, or else we're freeing them up to go elsewhere. So no, we have to get it under control, and that's what we've got a CEO in the door for, and we're going to have new boardroom members coming in over a period of time, and it's the way forward if we want to make sure that when we are getting rid of a player that he's maybe sitting on 12 to 15 grand or whatever, and he is marketable with another club, because they're only paying that round about that or maybe a slightly more in their sort of league. So that's what we've got to be mindful of as well.
And by the way, I've just seen what he's done. I've got to admire you the way you've kept it all within the lines, Albert, and every player's had a different colour.
That's a bit of effort in front of that. A bit of effort, mate. It's surprising what you can do with cranes, isn't it?
Oh dear, I doff my hat to you, mate. I doff my hat. You know,
see, like if you're, I hear the stats for games and all that, and I know I said before, I'm no anti-stats. I don't think the ones for the games, 0 point goal expectancy and all this, and we've had 28 shots and 400 corners in a game and all this crap. No, I mean, it doesn't really mean anything, mate. It's not focusing you on anything. But see, like if you look at that, that's starting to focus you on, hold on a minute, what's going on here? So it gives you an idea of going, where do we need to start looking here? What kind of injuries are these players taking? So you need to categorise all the injuries. What are they doing? Is it during the game they're getting kicked, fouled during the game? Or is it a muscle injury? Is it a hamstring injury? What is it? So you need to, once you get this information all sorted out and put in the right place, you start getting focused on where the problem might lie. I've got my own theory on that, but again, there's no information out there that's available to us anyway to look at it and say there's a problem there. It's your fitness team or no getting them fit, or no, there's something in there that's happening, or it's the medical team, or it's something, or it's the type of training you're doing, or whatever. But at the moment, we just seem to roll from season to season, moaning about injuries, going, why are we taking all these injuries? Nobody, but we never actually get to the bottom of it and clear it up. Maybe we're not taking as many injuries as we think we are. Maybe other teams throughout the country are taking the exact same amount of injuries as we're taking, and taking the same amount of time to bring them back from that injury. I don't know, mate. But it just seems a hell of a lot that we're taking and paying a hell of a lot of money for it.
Can we just go through the list again, just and if we see what transfer fees we paid for them then? Because I can't remember all the fees. We'll not get it exact, just roughly. Just use them again then.
Well, McLaughlin, I think he came as a free.
I
think he was a free, aye.
Right.
Sterling.
Free.
Yep. Ridvan.
Oh, Southside. He was a few million money.
I think it's 5, isn't it?
Well, they said about 5 mil. It could go up to about €5 million at one point, was the sort of reported price.
We'll just call it 4 million just for argument. Going in 4. Keep going.
4. Helander.
He was a couple of million Southside, yeah.
I think he was 3.
All right, we'll call that 7. That's 7. Keep going.
Suter.
3.
Jack.
3.
Lawrence.
3.
Hadji.
Can't remember. Southside.
I think he was 5, 4 or 5. I think.
Who'd you say?
Hadji.
That's right. I was about. He wasn't like 4 anyway, 5, but round about that bracket, I think.
Right, go on. There you go.
I think I'm doing for 4.
Aye, that's 11. Keep going.
Matondo.
About 4. Yeah,
Roof.
15. About 4, 19. Yeah.
Danilo. He was 6, wasn't he?
6. 25. Keep going.
Davis.
can't remember. Was it a couple of mil, Southside?
I think it was, mate.
27. Keep going.
Casemiro, he's on loan, isn't he? With an option to buy. Dowell.
3, I think.
And Cortez, he's 4.5, isn't he?
So you're talking about, we'll call it 30 million. 30, 35 million. There you go. All that wages and all that. There you go. And with bonuses, you're most likely getting close to nearly a year's turnover, mate. It's frightening. Southside.
We've said many a time we've wasted money, and if you break it down like that and just these sort of players, and there's obviously merit there. It's just been players, money spent on players that haven't gave his value back. Jack, although you could see the amount of games he'd played in a lot of big games where he was influential and we'd got good results and all that, and Hadji done well for us in spells, like I said, but the rest of them that's on the list, like Matondo, Tom Lawrence on that, I know who. I mean, Tom Lawrence came with the ability, I thought, would be a good player and he's a good return for numbers-wise for the team. I thought he'd have a big part to play. He played a lot of games in the Championship. But after he got that first injury, it took a long time for him to come back. And since he come back, he's been in and out and picking up knock after knock. Listen, I think it's down to the game schedule we play. It's got to be. I know teams have suffered for injuries. I heard other teams talking about it, managers saying we've got a big injury list here. And it's probably down to the amount of the games we're playing, and we're having to get, like you say, we're playing 3 games in 7, 8 days or a period like that. And that just could be the thing. We didn't have a big, strong squad to back it up this year. And players have took injuries. But obviously, which frustrates us all is when they go out, it's the length of time it takes them to come back. But I believe we've smartened up the medical team in the back room. We've had a few new additions in there. So obviously that's been looked at and they're trying to change it and have been in the process of changing the stuff in there.
Listen, when I look at that list and I think back, I mean, about the only one, I mean, obviously Sterling's had a red card. Jack got a few at the start of his career, so they're about the two. It's only then his suspensions and such in there, you know what I mean? But when you look at it, I accept you're not going to play. Have you got any exceptions to the rules, Albert? Have you done that and try to show up how bad it is?
Well, you've got Tav and Goldson as examples of how it should be done, really. I mean, Tav's played 330 games in a 9.5-year period. You know what I mean? So say it's a 10-year period. You're talking about 380. He's turned up for 330. Goldson's 228 out of 192. So he's played 192 games out of 228 he could have played, Goldson. And that was only the last year he took the injuries. So you need 2 players, whether you like them. I don't particularly like them, but you can't fault them for turning up for their work, mate. They players show you it can be done. So I don't understand what the rest of them are. What's the Jack would take an exception to, by the way, because that Kipri, Motherwell, that fullback, I think he's playing somewhere down south now. He done Jack. Jack was fine until he stood on his knee, stamped on his knee at Ibrox. And then for that game, and he went half injured. For that game, he's never ever come back as a player, the same player.
So you're saying they 15 players, 15 you named, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. I've played less games than Golson and Tav together.
Oh no! Well, put it this way: the total number of games they all played, they 15 players, is 460. Well, they started. Tav started 330. You know what I'm saying? And Golson started 192. Between them, they two players, they've outstripped the whole lot of them put together. 15 players. It's nuts if you look at it that way. I know it's not an exact science, and I'm not trying to make anything.
You were no fan of Golson's, were you?
No, I didn't like Golson. I don't think he was a good player. I don't think he was a centre half. Too many weaknesses. The players that you can afford now are like that. Too many weaknesses. But he turned up for his work. You can't argue about that, mate. That wasn't one of his weaknesses. Neither Tav as well. He turns up for his work, the boy, regular.
Southside.
I used to bang heads with wee Hadji about Golson all the time. But I'll tell you what, he did organise and he had his moments, but he was pretty consistent and he turned up. That's the thing when you look at the stats on Tav and Connor Golson. What's Borna? Borna would have quite high stats and all, would you know?
50%. I don't think he reached.
I know he had a couple of injuries, Borna, and I think he get
It's
wrapped up a couple of times, but Borna, and that's the foundation of what you need and when you're building a team and a squad. You've got to have these type of players that at the time, and by the way, Tav was bombing up and doing that flank 10 times in the early stages once Gerrard and that came in and all, you seen the way he was doing it. So for the injury that he had and the amount of games, never injured really, and put the numbers up. When you've got other players saying like, oh, you take a while to get fit and they take a while to get fit and all that. And Sterling for me is the one I would stick up beside Tav. Sterling should be a lot more numbers for the team, and there's a reason why he isn't. If he was only getting kept out the team, I could accept it and say, well, obviously the right back's playing well now and he just can't get in. I accept that, but to not be fit and available, I think is poor for him. So we need to find a solution for that, and the same as like Ridvan's numbers are poor. I know he's had a wee run consistently now since he's come back, but his numbers over the long period that he's been at Ibrox is poor as well, especially since we paid a big chunk for him.
I would give him a wee run to the airport, mate. Right, anyway, interesting, Robert, interesting. There you go. And right, if it's all right with you two gentlemen, we'll hear the first part of the manager's press conference, and then we'll get the phone lines open, and then maybe we'll hear the second part. Yeah.
No bother, mate.
You all right with that, Southside, or you still reflecting on the numbers because it's frightening?
No, on you go. Let's see what the manager had to say.
Right, let's hear for the gaffer.
Philippe, obviously a lot of reaction still to the game of the weekend. Can you bring us up to speed with what your week's been like, whether you've held talks with Patrick Stewart in particular following that result?
It's been a long week, a very long week compared to all the rest, and after a defeat like that, where you're full of frustrations about the results, you want to get a game as fast as possible, to react, to do the right things, to give the fans the right things also. So it's a long week in that sense, and I spoke with Patrick like after every game. So nothing special towards other weeks.
Any communication with the board or anything specifically about your job? Is obviously a lot of focus on that, given the magnitude of the result, given what Patrick said a month ago about not offering cast iron guarantees.
Not one manager in the world has guarantees. Maybe Guardiola in Man City, but he deserves also after all the things he did in a long spell there. So that's part of football. But we spoke about the game and that the result didn't reflect the game also. But of course we need to react, and that's the most important thing after a defeat, an unacceptable defeat, going out of the cup where we're all devastated about and sick about, and that's been the case the first days of the week for everybody, all of us. You need to react now. It's about that's the important thing.
Was there ever any point this week, Philippe, that you personally were worried or concerned that backing from Patrick and the board had run out?
No, I'm not busy with that. With what's because the board, there's a lot of people here in the club who are all over the world. I'm in contact with Patrick. We had a talk about the game, over the game, about the game, after the game, like we always do. And it was in the same way as before. And of course, I was also frustrated, devastated after the result. I was frustrated to be on the sideline during that game. You get that amount of chances, and one moment you want to run on the field to shoot the ball yourself into the goal. But that's not my job to do. So it's about picking up the team again. to be really clear also about the mistakes we made, and we made a big review about this game, and to take the right conclusions, and then to work towards the next game.
So the talks with Patrick, were they just about the game and where it went wrong, or were there wider comments about what it means to the fans and what this means for your season?
No, of course it was about the game and about the fans. I said myself, of course, I know this is a big blow for the fans, the same as for us. We wanted to go far in the cup. We had bad feelings after the League Cup where we went into the final. This cup was a really, really big goal for us. For me, it's also something I talked about a lot with the group the last weeks and months. So it was a big blow for all of us. So for sure, I know it's a big blow for all the fans to get that result, and against a team who's playing in the second league. It's not acceptable. It's unacceptable. Like I said after the game, clearly.
The fan anger, Philippe, afterwards. What did you make of that? And did it cross a line? We saw some of the videos of you leaving the stadium. What was your thoughts on that? And did some fans take it too far?
It hurts, of course, because, and I told you guys also in the good moments here, the thing why I like this job is to do things with people together. We had already some amazing moments of synergy with the fans, good moments, great moments, amazing evenings at Ibrox, European games away, winning a trophy together. So those are the good moments. This was clearly a bad moment. And of course, I saw the video also. I didn't look that people were making a video, but in the press comes also that moment, what somebody's shouting at you. That moment there were also a lot of young children still asking for an autograph, where I stopped, and because of that I stopped also for them. So it's a lot of things in the same moment. I understand the frustration of people, and it's difficult for me to say where a line is because it's something personal. We had a few weeks ago that for one manager a line was crossed, and because of that he stopped. So it's clearly for me that I'm here, that I want to fight for this club. I want to get the results that we had the weeks before, to continue to develop this team and to make it better, and not to get results like that again. So it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt that moment.
Philippe, you said a couple of weeks ago that you had 200% backing, or you were sure 200% backing from the board. Do you still feel the same? You have the same backing?
It's about the next games, the next months, everything. I know we didn't want to go out of the cup. I didn't have any other signal of no backing, and that's the case in football as a manager. So I'm going full to get the results that we want, and also to continue making the development of all the players. It's been the case the last period. We had good results. We had you guys talked a lot about the away record, and it was true also domestically. We had the good game in Dundee United, scoring 3 goals there. We had the last couple of weeks games, 3 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals, domination, good games against Tottenham and Man U, qualifying in the first 8 for Europa League was above expectation. We had a good win against Celtic also at Ibrox, so a lot of positives. This was a very negative one. It's not a reflection of everything that happened this season with this group of players, but we need to get back to the level that they had the weeks before. We need to work on that, and we need to have the right mindset for that, and that's about reacting after this unacceptable defeat.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right, thanks for that, folks. Southside, if I'm honest, there wasn't a lot in that first part, really, was there?
No, just asked them repeated questions and different ways of asking them and stuff, you know. I thought they might have asked him what was the injuries already, what's the team selection for Sunday first, but they chose not to, so what we heard is what we got.
Albert.
Same as Southside. I mean, it's what was it? What were they expecting the guy to say? You know what I mean? They say, "Oh, we're happy with what happened," and I'm nae back, and no, they've told me I'm nae back, and but I'm still here anyway because I'm just not going anywhere. What are they expecting the guy to say? You know what I mean? It was a bad result. That's it. It's done. It's finished. There's nothing you can do about it. It will remain in our history forever now. He's made them infamous, and it's made the team infamous. So just go on with it. There's nothing you can do about it. Make sure it doesn't happen again. That's what he said. Win games. That's what he's telling you. That's it. Nothing there, mate. Nothing there to talk about. Southside's right. Why are we not talking about Sunday's game now?
Just fell off his chair, so he has when you said that. You'll come back in a minute. You'll get back on his big chair.
I bang my head.
Bang my head. You know what I'm saying?
It's a big drop for that high chair. You know that, Ox?
Oh, aye. I wasn't strapped in. Carry on, Albert.
I mean, what is he supposed to say? They must be saying it all week. No matter what he comes out and says in this press conference, no matter what it is, it's going to be criticising Paul to bits. So,
will we get before we hope for some calls come in? Will we just get the second part out of the way?
Aye, well, you're in, mate. See, I missed the second part. I heard the first part, but I've never heard the second part.
All right, so let's hear the manager.
Do you accept, though, that Rangers fans particularly gauge success on domestic football? European football is fantastic, but success domestically, winning cups, winning leagues, that's what managers are gauged on.
I think the fans want everything, and they're allowed to want everything. I think this club is also about that. If you just focus only on domestic and in the European games you show no quality, they will also not be happy. So it's every game. That's what it's about. Being here, it's challenging with the resources for the moment, and that we had to rebuild a squad. So that's my frustration also. After all these weeks where you see the team growing, and all of you saw that, and all of you have written that also, that you have this game where you don't put this ball over the line enough and you don't show enough quality to do that in a better way. We were so many times in that situation, but we didn't show enough quality, all of us together. So, that's a big frustration, so I understand the frustration of the fans also.
We spoke to Yanis earlier on. He said there's been a lot of analysis of what happened. In your opinion, what went wrong on Sunday?
Yeah, a lot of things, a lot of details in the final third, the decision making, the runs in the first half, our tempo. As a team, not urgent enough to score this goal and to kill the belief of the opponent. There were a lot of things and a lot of more things where I don't want to go in detail to make our opponents smarter than they are already. So, yeah, of course, we point out all of that. And then we continue working to make it better. It's also not something that is continuously going on during weeks and you get the end result. In this cup game, we didn't score a goal. The weeks before, we scored 3, 4, 5 goals and creating a lot of opportunities. Now we create a lot of opportunities, but we didn't score. So that's a big part, of course, in the final result. After the game, you can always say it was the wrong team. You can always say that. That's difficult. I said in the past, I had one time that I had too many young players. It was totally not the case now. So afterwards, you can always have this discussion that's inside, and you don't know if it was with another one, if we would have had a better result. At the end, we didn't get the results, what we should have had and what we should have taken, and we didn't take it.
Philippe, between you speaking on Sunday and today, that's been the only communications that the supporters have had. That's something they've been unhappy with, the fact that nobody else from the club has come out to give their view on where the situation at the club is. Would you have liked to have seen some from perhaps the board?
It's not my thing to say if somebody should have reacted or not. I do my job, and clearly I didn't do my job well the last game, that we didn't get the results. The week before or the months before, clearly better, and I'm very motivated to do my job very good this week to get the result at Hearts, and all my focus is on that.
A couple of times previously about last summer, you became aware of the true situation of the club, the finances and things like that, and you had the decision to make about whether you stayed on. With hindsight now, with everything you know how this season has panned out, is that a decision?
No, otherwise I would not be here, because you can step out of a story. No, I know why I did that decision, and it's because of this synergy with the fans, and because I know how great this place can be if you have success, if you win trophies. So there is my hunger, my desire for all of that. So that's a choice I made before I came, compared with other teams who were interested at that moment, and it's still the case here. And like I said, it was a really down moment, a hard moment, a moment that I understand also, all the reactions, but I know also all these other reactions also from the past, and how great place this can be. So my determination is day and night to make that story better, to get this consistency, what we had now during a longer periods, but not long enough. And that's what we need to build with this squad, to get this consistency every 3 days. And that's what fans expect. It's a challenging one with the resources for the moment. The club wanted to do also more things in January, was not possible. So it's going on with the team now, and I'm really excited also about the evolution of all these players, where it will get, how far they can get, how much progression they can make. I see a lot of potential in that, but we didn't see it on the pitch last Sunday. Totally true, and they acknowledge that. This team is really honest also, I have to say. They're really honest about if they didn't perform. There's nobody thinking, I was good, but the others. It's totally not the case. So they were all devastated, like me, like the staff, everybody after the game and the days after. But now it's about looking forward and to react. That's the thing. If you, as an athlete, you have a defeat, you cannot dwell in that, because then you throw away all these other opportunities that can come after. They need to react now. We all need to react now on Sunday.
Philippe, with the greatest of respect, the fans will be disappointed that you're still in situation here. How challenging is it going to be for you to work through the negativity you're going to feel for the fans?
Yes, it's about getting the results. Like I said, I had a lot of great moments with these fans, with results, and I know they're not happy about this season and about going out of the cup. So I'm gonna do everything in my ability to make things better here in the club, with the team and around the team, because there's also a lot of work to be done.
That was the last straw for most of the fans last weekend. That was the final act.
That's what you say.
I think most people would agree with me.
I'm here to give my best in everything, to get the team ready for the game against Hearts, to work hard for that, and my focus is on that next game.
Who was that who spoke at the end there? Albert, you.
Who the
very last
journalist?
Aye.
I don't know. I don't know anything.
All right. Okay. Again, nothing.
Who was it? Do you know what it is now? Southside know who it is?
No, I'm not sure. Anyway, but listen, just the same old gurgitated to try to trip him up. Yeah, well, I think if you had a straw poll, it'd be very high. The supporter, Might be even stronger if you'd done it on Sunday night when emotions were running high. I've got my views on it. I've said it all week. Southside, you've got your views on it, Malbert. We see it. I'm not saying we see it completely different, but we see the big decision being different. Southside, you've looked at the big picture, small picture. You've took the emotions. It has been a trying week for us Bears, isn't it?
It's a sore one. In my time of watching Rangers, a result like that, I mean, we've had bad results, but that one just didn't see that coming at all, and it should never have happened. And as much as the manager has taken the can for it, I still had all the players have been on that part, absolutely, as I said on Wednesday, humiliated the support, the club and everything. And now it's heaped more pressure on them all for this game come Sunday at Tynecastle. So, like I said, it's about going out the next game, and now we have to move forward and go out and play and win the next game of football. And it just so happens it's Hearts away. But listen, the redemption for the support isn't going to. It's too wide, I think, now. I think for a lot of people. But what you've got to understand and all, Ox, is whatever decision we make, we've got to make a decision that isn't going to put us back another 3-4 years. This is the thing. It's down to the club to make sure that the decision, if they're going to pull the plug on, come on at any time, that the next guy that goes in is going to have to make sure that he hits the ground running and gets a totally different tune. If that's the way you think it's going to go, which you would think if they pull the plug, the next guy coming in will have more tools and we'll give money and whatever we can do to get the best out of this squad if they think Clement isn't. But there's no excuse for the result at all. But at the end of the day, it's all about Sunday and it's about winning a game of football, and that's what we need to do. We can't be down this road again having this same conversation through a bad result. We've reacted before. I mean, Jim Forrest get binned after Berwick, and look how that turned out.
Arguably because there's a European trophy, mate.
Exactly. So you've sometimes emotion comes into it. We're all downered and scunnered with it. And he'll probably listen. He'll be forever remembered about that result, no matter what he does going forward. But us as a club and a support need to get back to winning ways, and that starts on Sunday. And I'd like to think that every single player that takes the park will show a reaction and get the 3 points and hopefully get a few goals and a decent display. It still doesn't make up for it, but it's the way it's got to progress going forward. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to see Phil Clement fail here. I never wanted them to fail. And as much as some people wanted them out ages ago, fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. At the end of the day, I want to see Glasgow Rangers pick up 3 points and get into next rounds of cups like everybody else. So we'll see what it takes us. But at the moment, he's in the job. He's staying. And when we go to Tynecastle on Sunday, I'm just going to support the team and manager, everything that goes with the club, and hope it's good enough on the day to get us the 3 points, mate, like we do every week.
Albert, can I ask you a question, mate? Yeah?
Yeah, go for it, Paul.
Right. You've stated your views and eloquently, and some of the facts and some of the things you've come away with can't be argued with. I'm going to ask you a straight question. How do you think this is going to pan out? Know what you want to pan out.
Well, eventually he's going to eat his books. There's no getting away from that. When that is the key question. It's you got to do it with a clear head. You got to think your way through it. I'm talking about the management now. But one thing you don't want to do is just rush in and sack him. That's just no acceptable, mate. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. And then I'll sit there and scratch for a second and see what we're going to do now. Or is the next man want to rebuild when he comes in? Or does he want to bring his players in? Or is he left with players that he doesn't really want or trust? Or he doesn't even like? I mean, you just got to be careful what we're all saying here. It's a bad result. The Threes are in complete agreement with the result on Sunday. Totally unacceptable, mate. Nobody's even trying to say that was acceptable. What we're all arguing about is sacking the manager. Some people say that's the final straw and that's what he should get sacked for. I don't. That's happened before in the Rangers history. I mean, I'm old enough to be about, along with a lot of other Rangers supporters out there, to see the 3 results in our history. If you're talking about Berwick, Hamilton, and this one, I've seen the 3 of them, and I'll tell you right now, when they're saying, "Oh, what's the worst one?" The 3 of them are equally as bad. You can't say anyone's better or any worse or any better than the other ones. It's all the same to me. You just don't want to see Rangers getting beat in these situations. But I don't want to see Rangers getting beat in any situation for that matter. But as for the manager, I'm still the same. No for me, mate. No for me. No sack. No for me. I'm still on the project. I'm still on the plan. We're calling it a project. It's a plan, mate. Is to bring the club forward and into a new era.
What's the difference between a list and stats, mate?
No, there's not much difference. A list just lists the things you're going to look at the stats. Look at the stats of. You know what I mean, to me. Anyway, so that's my view. I mean, I'm not wanting to keep going on about it. We've all got our views, everybody's entrenched.
No. Same question to you, Southside. How do you think this is going to pan out?
I think at the end, I never thought he'd see 4 years when he first signed, because I knew he was building a team. And Albert hit the nail on the head when he says he'll be the guy that will start building it. He'll most probably see all the fruits of it, right? So I think because of that defeat on Sunday, I think it's just shook everybody, and I think the easiest thing to say is sack your manager, because a lot of Rangers managers would have got a bullet for that. But if we'd been closer in the league title and where we are in Europe, if we had better luck in a cup final, then it's still a catastrophic result. It's still going to make us feel the way we feel, but you could probably get on with it a bit more, because you still be fighting a league title. You might have only been a point or 2 ahead or a point or 2 behind, whatever, and that would have, and we would still have been saying, well, we're still going to win a league. That's torture and murder, but here we've got another prize still to go for. The fact that it ends our whole season apart from a European run, which is left. Plus, we're still going to hunt down the league regardless anyway, until it's mathematically impossible. Might be unlikely, but you still got to go and fight for it, and you're still going to keep going, and we've still got 2 games to play them, and I still want to make sure that we can beat them in the 2 games. That result, the way they showed up, but we know when the team has showed up this season, they've been good, and in the last 2 games against them, I would say we should have probably won them if we got the right decision. We probably took it. If we score it, which after Sunday's hard to say after Tav, but if we scored, we might have come back with our result and had a cup in our bag and all. So I think at the end, I think he will get let go. Whether it'll be the right decision or no, we'll see. He would have to really go on a consistent run of wins. Ibrox has been decent in the league. He would have to turn the away form run with more wins till the end of the season, which will include Sunday, Kilmarnock, Celtic Park, as we go forward, because I think the team's equipped to go there now anyway, regardless. So he'll be judged on that in the home forum, and we'll see what we get. If we can see who we get in the draw. If we can get to the last 8, then we'll see where we can go with that. But I think inevitably, he will probably go at some point, which will maybe be the start of the season. But if they back him, Ox, and he does well, and we just go on this run that we've not done throughout the season, which is we need to keep winning and do well in Europe and try and get as far as we can, then they might change their mind and say, well, you know what, you've done well in Europe, you've done well in the league games at home, we'll just virtually win all of them, bar Dundee United to the end of the season. You need to turn the away form round, we'll give you more players, you're halfway into a project, you understand what's happening, and we'll give you a on. And he's got to then win the league next season straight away, there's no questions. But the one thing we know, Ox, that squad still need a lot of help. We need at least another 8 or 9 players to add to that squad.
We need
at least 5 or 6 out.
You need to get if you want to bring 8 or 9 in, mate, you're going to have
But
to
we
get...
do have to realistically, you need if you're realistic about trying to compete for anything, right? You need to build a squad, right? Now we're looking at what we've got now, and we're saying, oh, somebody comes in for Ignaman, somebody comes in for Raskin, somebody comes in for Yefty. There's 3 of our players straight away. Okay, we might be pulling in money, but we're trying to build a squad and a team. We need to get these guys in the team. You might have to sell one, right, if the money's too good, but we need to try and keep a hold of these boys and keep them in the team and let them play 2 seasons, 3 seasons. But you need to start winning, and this is them learning how to play these games every week, 3 games that they're playing, like Yefty, Diamonde, and all that. Cortez when he comes in the team. Connor Barron will have to learn to do it when he's in. And Sterling has to come in and play in the team. We've got Shooter back trying to do it through these fitness issues, but she's been fine up until just recently. I think that was more burnout than anything else, the amount of games he played. And we've got to do that. We need to have players available, and we need to keep a core of our team. If we keep breaking up our team, how are we going to have consistency to win league titles? You've got to keep a core. That's the way it works. You know it does.
I know, but you've always going to have to replace players come and go all the time, and Albert, you'll see it differently because somebody chaps it over the right offer. What's going to happen?
Oh, that is true. I mean, if it's a silly offer, they're gone. It's as simple as that. But you do have to keep the core. I agree with that. But at the end of the day, one of his key factors is what we judged on as well at the end of the season. It's not just the trophies, which is going to look pretty poor as in none. But one of the key factors over and above that is how much interest is shown in the players. So if the coaching staff have done their job, we've brought these players in, we've learned the experience, but now the football world are starting to show interest in some of your players. That's one of the things you need to judge it on as well. This is what I keep saying, putting value in the squad, bringing value to the squad. So that's that. If nobody's interested in any of these players at the end of the season, you can say that's a complete failure. Why is nobody interested in my players? But I don't think that's going to be the case. You don't have to sell them all. You don't have to. You've got to keep the core, as Southside saying, but you've got to balance the books. Other teams are doing the exact same thing, keeping the core, but selling 1 or 2 players to balance their books. That's the way it's done. You don't need to invent the wheel, mate. That's exactly the way it's done. But again, you need to get the core of the team right. I don't think we've got the core of the team yet at the club yet. I think that's one of our huge problems. Once we get that core built right down the centre of the park, then players come in and come and go just as any normal club, mate. But we're no cleaning out 12 to 20 players a season and then bring in 16 players, and then you've got 3 weeks to try and buy them, set them in, get them all playing again. It's impossible, mate. Totally impossible to keep doing that. Yet here we are sitting again, wanting to do it again. It's never going to work this way, mate. You've got to stick with what you've got. Stick to the plan. Make the plan, stick to the plan. See it through, and then see what the squad looks like. After X amount of wins, it's up to yourself how long you want to give the manager.
How do you handle, just quickly before we go to the tune, how do you handle this? If, to coin a phrase, people have said he's a dead man walking. Yeah. How do you handle
opinion,
that,
mate? What, him personally?
How do you handle that? It's just
ignore it. Totally and utterly ignore it, mate.
Feel
Doesn't matter, mate. Totally ignore it. There's only one opinion that really matters, mate, and that's the CEO. His opinion matters. All our opinions don't matter, mate. We can greet, moan and shout and get emotional and pull our skits out of our head and run about banging into each other. It makes no difference, mate. We're no running the club. The CEO and the executive board are running the club, right? And the football department's the football department. So it's entirely up to them what they see. But I'll tell you one thing, the recent history that they've come into suggests that they're not going to start signing managers because they've seen the chaos it's caused. And they've seen the chaos that, we've had to let odd players go last summer. Do you think the first thing that Clement would say to Stuart when he walked in and had his first conversations? Well, we had to get rid of 16 players last summer, and we've replaced them with no cash. We've actually brought no cash in for it with the majority of the players, so we're not going to spend. So we are where we are at the moment. again, there's people out there like the boy Clifford and all that are calling these excuses. These are no excuses, guys. These are the facts. This is the facts. You've got to face up to the facts. A year with year through mismanagement for years, mate. So again, we're now back to the same scenario as we've been with Van Bronckhorst, Beale. Back to this again.
I'll come back to you. Right, get yourselves on mute because we're going to have a tune.
I sailed the wild Atlantic across the broad Pacific shore. I sailed around the stormy capes and I've heard the 40s roar. I've wined the Indian Ocean and I've sailed the China Sea. But there's a sea back home in Scotland, more than all the rest to me. It's the blue, blue, blue sea of Ireland. It's the greenest sight that I have ever seen. It's the blue, blue, blue sea of Ireland. And this part of the river just bears me. No more I'll sail the seven seas, no more I'll ever roam. No more I'll feel the urge again, I'm back where I belong. And 3 o'clock each Saturday, I'll join the mighty throng. With flags and banners all around, I'll proudly sing this song. It's the blue, blue, blue sea of Ireland. It's the greenest sight that I have ever seen. It's the blue, blue, blue sea of Ireland. And this part of the river just bears me. It's the blue, blue, blue sea of Ireland. It's the greenest sight that I have ever seen. It's the blue, blue, blue sea of Ireland. And this part of the river just bears me. And this part of the river just bears me.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right, you mentioned 3 games there, Albert, yeah?
Yep.
Berwick, the Hamilton game, and Queen's Park,
Park.
yeah? Yeah. Who did we play after Berwick Rangers?
Who did we play?
The game after the Berwick debacle.
Oh, I can't remember that. Who was it?
Hearts. Who did
Was
we
it, aye?
play? Who did we play after Hamilton?
You got, if I say Hearts, you say no. Was it Hearts or no?
Hearts.
And then we're playing Hearts tomorrow or Sunday.
Did we win the 2 games?
We scored 5 goals in each 2 games. We won 5-1 and 5-2.
Did we? I just seen a comment. Panel's remarks are ridiculous. What you going to say when Hearts beat us on Sunday? No, that's coming for a Rangers supporter. Do you know what I mean? It makes you laugh, you know. You don't think your team can go to Tynecastle and win no matter what, you know. It's laughable. That's what you're up against. But
I think it's time for change with the manager. I've said it on there, yeah. I don't like this being a dead man walking. I don't think we're being fair on the bloke. Yeah. I think they're going to have to make their mind up. They're either going to have to cut and run or they're going to go all on behind them. But I think for me, the sensible decision is to be looking for a replacement, but try and get the right replacement, which is difficult. But you get the feeling that some of the Range support want us to get beat because they'll be proved right, Albert.
Well, that's it, mate. At least I'm being positive with the manager. I'm wanting the team to win. I'm wanting the team to win all the time, mate. But and he'll stay and he'll show you This is a great the perfect way for me. He stays, he wins, he shows you that what he can do, and you're all going into next season with new players coming, just maybe 3, 4, 5 new players coming in, and we're looking forward to the new season. Get after a flyer and off we go. That's the perfect scenario for us as we sit at the moment. The perfect scenario this season was win the league, good run in Europe, and try and win one of the cups, 2 of the cups maybe. Get a wee treble would have been nice, but that's it. But at the moment, I'm with you. I just feel that there's Rangers supporters out there don't want Rangers to win. It's ridiculous, mate, to prove that the manager's a dud. I mean, what is this all about? I don't actually get what it's about. So you don't want the guy to be successful? I mean, I'm watching somebody podcasting. Their face is tripping them because the announcement he's been sacked is not out yet, mate. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, I've made my views known. I mean, I've made my views known for quite a long time, without being, I think, over negative on the team Southside. But I get your point, mate. You know,
I respect everybody's point of view. Like, and I've a lot of people, like you said, you probably called them out after a few results a while ago and stuff. And I get it. I can get a lot of things that people say. I don't get bringing on Yilmaz on Sunday with that sort of decision. I don't get a couple of things he's done and said. But I've looked at the big picture since we started the campaign. And starting with one striker only that we had to play with, and it wasn't very good, but it has moments, and we had to go with him. I believe if he could have, we went and bought a striker. I think there was other parts of the team. Cotton's a guy that's bringing players in. Maybe he's got a say in maybe some of them. He did say he spoke to Hamza a few times before he signed and all that, and when he came out and stuff. So I don't know what input he had and all that. But listen, all I want is the Rangers team to succeed and win. And whether my opinion's right or wrong, I'll never come on here and be smug about it. Go see, I tell you know what I mean. But for people I know, I'll be happy because they want the manager out. So they'd want us probably to lose or draw, probably draw. I'll not say lose too much, probably draw. Don't want to upset too many people. But you know what it's like. It's just so you can go see, tell you I said that months and months ago and all that. Fine. But end of the day, I'm going to Tynecastle on Sunday and I'm going to support my team and I want to see us win 3 points. And I'll expect us, if we turn up and play in the capabilities that we have played, we'll beat Hearts. That's what I expect, and that's what I hope will happen on Sunday. Now, if it doesn't, fine. I'll be back on next week and I'll say, well, we can dissect and critique the game, well, like we always do. But first and foremost, as a support, we'll need to get our act together. Because if we all start going sideways and going each this, and I'm not refunding my books, and I'm not doing this, and I'm not doing that. See, the one thing we're doing, who no matter who's in charge, is we're hurting our club. And that could put us back a lot more gears than what we want to be. At the end of the day, the club needs money and we need to support the club because at the end of the day, it's the club that matters. And we matter because we support the club. And it's down to them now to make a decision going forward. But whatever decision it makes, and if Clement comes out the job, fine. I'll support the new manager that goes in. We'll see who it will be. But we have to get it right. If we're going to be having this conversation 18 months down the line because he doesn't get us into Europe in a qualifier. We get beat by Celtic. We don't do this. We drop points two games in the league. The outcry will be, he's hopeless. Get him to an or. And then we go back down this cycle again to another manager. You know, so this is what we've watched happen before. If this result doesn't happen on Sunday, we're not having this full conversation. It would have still been people maybe want him out, and they might have been that, but people were coming round to the fact that you could see you heard other people and people were saying it, all right, I maybe changed my opinion slightly on him. But when that bombshell hits on Sunday, then that's what upsets the whole apple cart for everyone, man.
I did then, Malkin, because even if we get to next year, you're going to have one bad result, whatever it is, at some point, yeah? A qualifier, and I'm not saying you might go out, you might have a bad result, and it's just going to grow. I just think that the bubble, the chasm's too big. But that's me. I think I'm in one ledge, all Bears in the other ledge, and we're pulling Southside between us, if that makes sense.
We're polar apart, mate. There's no doubt about that. We see it differently. As a lot of Rangers players see it different for me, I see it different for them. And some agree with me, some don't agree with me. That's fair enough, mate. That's fine. Opinions are opinions. No opinion's right, no opinion's wrong. It's the self-saying, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it will be what it's going to be. The people that matter when make the decisions will make the decision for the benefit of the club. But I'm way Southside 1,000% when he turns around and says this nonsense. We don't get we're in why we're not buying season. That's nonsense, mate. Rangers supporters are not like that. They don't normally do that. What they normally do is support the club. Great and moan and shout and ball, fine, no problem. That's you're allowed to do that. Pay your money to do that. Pay your money to have a good time. But if you're not going to have a good time, you're going to let them know it.
Come on here and great and moan, you know. Say your piece. We're glad to hear from people. What? As I say, I don't think he's a man for the job, right? For a lot of reasons. Obviously, Sunday didn't help. We've all talked about it after. We've talked about the football and where we are, and there's a lot of problems with our team. But up until Sunday, we were scoring goals on there, and then it just, we just couldn't score a goal against that. Let's be honest. They weren't that much better than Fraserburgh, if you're honest, and
the Queen's Park team were poor. Let's call it out. Even the Range supporters, if you ask them, I said it on it, even if you ask the Queen's Park supporters, they wouldn't say that's the best Queen's Park team they've ever seen. And there's been some good Queen's Park teams over the years, let's be honest about it. But that team in particular is no one of them. And that's not him to the boys that are playing. I'm being honest now. I'm being honest what I've seen. We don't score. That's what it sounds stupid, but we don't score, and that's why you lose the game. You get a penalty. Don't forget, we got a penalty. We couldn't even score that. So it's you can say it's one of the games. I heard people saying, "Oh, that result was in the post," and I don't believe any of that. It's just one of the games. It's horrible. It's got to be faced up to, and you've got to accept it. There's nothing else you can do about it. Are you happy about it? Certainly not. Stevie got it there, mate. It's like a death in the family. You know what it's like. It's horrible. It's just horrible. But at the end of the day,
just to let people know, I believe Stevie managed some soup in a roll today.
That's good. That's good. I mean, like the big man's healthy suffer because of it. But it's got to be. It's just got to be faced up to it. As for the dead man walking scenario, I mean, okay, they're going to say it. People are going to say it. And that. I mean, what I thought the way you answered that question at the end, he shouldn't have even answered the question. Just no comment. Just let them be like that. No comment, because you're trying to justify yourself to somebody that's telling you you're going to your books. Well, everybody gets their books eventually, don't they? Especially in football, everybody gets their books eventually, unless some team comes in and poaches you up. And that's what I'm hoping. He turns it all around. Guess he's playing good football when somebody comes in and poaches him away, because you'll get money for him. So
I don't see it all there. I just don't see this ending. I think it'll end sooner rather than later.
I don't see it, mate. Don't see it.
I do. I think the catalyst will be the next home game, mate.
What's the benefit? Stuart's going to be looking at it, and I think he's going to say, how does this benefit the club at this moment? Maybe he'll have to be sacked. Maybe he's got that in his head. But how does it benefit sacking him right now in the middle of this? Well, not the middle of the season, but this into the season. What's the point to it? There is absolutely zero point to it, mate. And people go, you'll lose the league with 25 goals, 25 points behind Sailing. Losing the league by 1 point, losing it by 25 points, to me it's the same thing. You lose the league. I'm not particularly bothered with how many points you lose a league by. I'm interested you lose the league. That's what I'm interested in. 1 point, 25 point makes no difference, mate. One goal, plus one goal, you lose the league by plus one goal. You've lost the league.
What's the benefit? Right, okay. Because listen, I don't think you disagree with me. This is only going to end in one way, right? And if even I wouldn't bring somebody in from you've got to look and see who you get in. Now that's the big question, right? Getting it right, the next guy in who's going to benefit from the rust cutting, for want of a better term, a wise man said to me, right? So the benefit is you're not going to the pre-season with the same guy, and you're not starting the season with the pressure on the guy that one bad result is just going, the storm's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Because this is no good for anybody. And players are cowards, mate, and all clubs, mate. And when they sense it and they know that somebody's, for want of a term again, dead man walking, nah. It's not like the old days when they'd rally behind them. They don't, mate, because they want to look after themselves. So the game's changed. So the benefit is you take a lot of pressure out. You've got to look for the next man because you're going to have to do it sooner or later, old bear. It's going to happen, and it's not going to. He's not going to get. I would be very shocked if he was still the manager at Christmas time. Yeah.
Be prepared to be shocked, then.
You know, but be prepared for a lot of things to happen.
But yeah, but you're saying that, but it does. I mean, the players don't look like they're not playing for him. So, do you know what I mean? This is a freak result, right? It was down to the players' performance, every single one of them.
You're only as good as your last game, Southside.
I know that, but I don't think the players are flung the towel in on them. I wouldn't say that. I've not seen any of that in any of the games.
So how come in the first half, in a Scottish Cup tie, the only domestic competition we could win, for the first 45 minutes, they played at walking pace in? Either we can't motivate them, or they weren't interested.
I've seen them down the touchline shouting at them enough and telling them.
You weren't far away from them, and you were shouting at them.
I had them pinned against the wall at half time.
Right.
You know, that's what should have happened to them.
And then at half time, the second half started, but then it get better. It get worse.
Aye, I know. But I still don't think the players.
I don't think we get worse. I don't think we get worse.
Well, we created chances, and listen, with the penalty to score. No, if we scored the penalty, there was only one team winning that game, and we know that. But it shouldn't take to get to there. I just don't see where the players are saying have down tools on them. I would say no. I would have said collectively every one of them were wrong.
You go to them at half time, strengthened our team because he brought in arguably our best player in the last few months, Raskin. Took the young boy off, strengthened our player. The team brought in more attacking player on, with Dessers coming on. So arguably strengthened our options of scoring goals. And that, I disagree with you, Albert. We get worse. We never started any tempo till they scored the goal, and then it was panic stations. They never reacted to the manager, this wonderful manager at half time. They never reacted to him. We get slower. They killed the pace, and then the master substitution was, we'll take Hadji off, who I'm not a fan of, you know, and we'll put Ridvan on. He's no good at me. He's doing a difficult job, but he's no good at football wise. It's not a good fit. It's not working. We've got to change, right or wrongly, or we're going to do more damage to the club than all the things we're trying to fix. What damage
are you going to do to the club?
If the interest wanes, you're going to hurt it financially, mate.
That's what we said no today, wasn't it?
Exactly. Being honest with you, listen, you two will be there, and I might be there myself against St Mirren, right? Yeah. Right. Well, let's be really honest with you. How many bums are going to be in seats?
Don't know.
Depends
in excess of 40,000.
No chance. There's not been 40,000 hardly at any league game since the Old Firm game. No chance. I was lucky it was 30,000 against Ross County, and that was before this debacle.
Right. So that's showing people that don't want to go then, isn't it?
I know, but that's then
it's their choice.
A pound, shillings and pence argument, mate.
Well, they'll all be there when they turn up. towards that game, and they'll be there when there's an Aberdeen game at Ibrox, and they'll probably be at that. They'll be more at certain games. I understand it, and it's happened before. We've all watched it for years. It happened, right? I get it. But come start the next season, what do you think? There'll be under 40,000 people renewing their books?
No, I don't. But then you'll have the same. If one bad result, the first, let's just say you went your first two fixtures, we're going to be away from home, right? Let's say our first fixture is away at Hibs, different from last year, different, but away at Hibs, and we get the same result as we just had there, 3 each. There we go. We're through the first game of the season. The swing and the cries, even if we played well and we played brilliant football and they stole a draw, it wouldn't matter.
What happens? You get a new manager and you get that draw. What happens then?
Exactly, but he's got a wee bit more credit in the bank. This guy's credit, and this guy's credit, and he's football.
I'm not well, mate. I'm not well. If it was that easy, mate, if it was that easy, and they were going to decide on what you just said about money, pounds, shillings, and pence, and all that, do you think Stuart wouldn't have pulled the plug by now? If he that was the criteria.
I think the big problem is there's no an obvious candidate, mate.
Might not be an obvious candidate, but it doesn't matter. According to you, it doesn't matter because if we get rid of him, the people will come back anyway. That seems to be the scenario.
No. The interest will wane for a bit this season, yeah. And
so what's the point? Well, I'm back to my first question then. So what does it benefit the club then, getting rid of him now?
Because
if they're going to go away, if they're going to go away and they're not going to come back, if Clement stays or goes, so what's the point of getting rid of him? What's the benefit for the club? There is no benefit, mate. But he might not have it. He might have just your opinion. He don't like him. Blah, blah. I've got all of that.
I don't dislike him, by the way.
What's the benefit for the club? Tell me what the benefit for the club is. There is no benefit. There's no upside here, mate.
We might get a better manager in, mate.
We might. We don't even know who we want.
There's no guarantees, is there?
Well, put it this way, right? When you bring a new manager in, you get the. It's been proved with us as well. You get the new manager bounce, didn't you? Right. What happened with Van Bronckhorst? We got the new manager bounce. We went through the wee season, then we collapsed. Right. So the new manager bounce is taken away because you're in a race that you've already lost. Right. Same happened to Beale. He comes in, you get the new manager bounce, falls down, comes out the next season, falls flat in his face. This, if you get rid of Clement, right, the same thing will happen again. So if you're just going down the get rid of Clement routine, right, let's see us go down that routine now. Why don't you keep him to the start of the next season, bring a new manager, let the new manager bounce happen at the beginning of the season and get after the start of the season at your flyer? Why not do it that way? That makes more sense to me than just saying get rid of him now. So you're going to use your new manager bounce to more positive effect than you did the last twice. It's crazy.
I wouldn't let Clement prepare the team for next season the way I'm feeling the Stuart about the guy. You know.
He's not preparing it.
You wouldn't have said this if this result didn't come on Sunday. You might have wanted him out to a point where long term you think he wouldn't have been the answer. But you wouldn't have been like, he has to go now if that result doesn't come on Sunday. We've still got 2 games against them. We've still got league points to get and we're still in Europe. So where's the benefit of getting rid of a manager who has teams played in spells and played well, right? We've done well in Europe and we've got a league record at Ibrox that we've dropped 2 points to Dundee United, right? Right, so why would you want to get right? You was well just saying to him, see the wee Moroccan guy come in, he's number 2. Was well getting at him then. Now what happens if he goes? What happens if he goes 10 games undefeated? Right, and you go, is it going to be back to? Oh wait a minute. Oh, how no? If he plays the team playing good, great, exciting football, and we're winning games, and we beat them twice, and we get to even. We'll not even bother going to say the final. But if we get to into the last 8 and even get to the last 4, right, and maybe they're too strong. If he does all that as a caretaker manager and gets all these wins, how would you not think of giving him a job?
Well, we'd be in the frame if somebody came in and done that.
But he shouldn't be in the frame, should he really? Because we should have long-term thinking about we should be getting a manager. You're just stumbling across him then, aren't you?
If you done that, you'd be rightly in the frame, wouldn't you?
But we've stumbled across it then, haven't we? We've not planned it.
How many managers? but many managers successful to that position. You've seen it that many times with players come, the assistant manager stepping up and they go on a wee run, new manager bounce after him, and it's all great. Or he should have had the job all the time. Dunk the drunk and all that. It's happened to him and it's happened to a few others, lots of others, and then they fall flat in their face. And you go, he wasn't really. He was.
When they start well with Walter, did it?
Well, how do you mean didn't start well with Walter?
But the results, think back when Walter took her. Oh, we stumbled to her, didn't we?
It didn't matter. We won the league. We won the league.
Aye, aye.
That was a Hateley heater, wasn't it?
Aye.
The last 4 games, I remember the last 3 or 4 games, a bit tweaky. I remember that.
3-0 away to Worrell. 3-0 away to Worrell. Right, we better get people on. They don't want to listen to us all night, yeah?
Yep, I wouldn't want to listen to us.
No, none of that. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Right. See, I had a plan. It was going to sort all this out, right? What I was going to do is I was going to put my money in the Southside Super Six. I was going to double up every couple of weeks. And all the money could have went to the club, and I think that could have that would have solved that budget deficit that you were talking about earlier on.
Created a surplus.
Aye, but however, it's not quite planned out the way I thought it would. But you never know; it could start this week, the same as Philip Clement could start this week. So let's hear Southside Super Six.
Hi, welcome to Southside Super Six for February the 15th. This weekend being Valentine's Day and Valentine's weekend, we're going to do 2 Super Sixes this weekend. So the first one is Aston Villa to beat Ipswich, Sheffield United to beat Luton, Middlesbrough to beat Watford, Birmingham to beat Charlton, Livingston to beat Dunfermline, and Morton to beat Airdrie. If you take all 6, it pays 26.5 to 1. Second Super Six this weekend, we're going to do over 2.5 goals. The first selection is Fulham and Nottingham Forest. Second selection is Crawley and Wickham. Third selection is Falkirk and Ayr. Fourth selection is Morton and Airdrie. Fifth selection is Raith Rovers and Partick Thistle. And the sixth selection is Manchester City Newcastle. If you take all 6, it pays 28.5 to 1.
Two Super Sixes. I fell off my chair twice tonight. What was the rationale? Just answer me this. What was the rationale of 2 Super Sixes in Valentine's? Were you trying to cheer everybody up?
Oh, so well, not everybody gets to spend Valentine's night like me and Albert because we're having to do the show, you know what I mean? So we might have to take into Saturday and Sunday like all other people out there. So if they're putting it on Saturday, they've got a chance of winning twice and they might have a good night on Saturday.
Oh, here I'm sitting in my tuxedo with me. This is all wearing an evening dress sitting across with me doing this show.
Have you got an elastic dicky board? Do you tie it or do you just have it hanging down all bit?
Oh, I'm old school, mate. I tie it. Any of your nonsense.
Right, that's impressive. The old dinner suit tie. Did you tie? You needed one of the ones with elastic Southside, didn't you?
Correct.
He's got one of the ones that spins and lights up.
I'm not wrong with that. Oh dear. 2 Super Sixes. Oh dear. I'll need to charge my phone up for tomorrow.
Oh, this is a Super 12 this week. Super dozen.
Oh dear. Brilliant, big man. Brilliant.
Oh, well, if you're going to get humiliated once, you might as well get humiliated twice.
Oh dear.
That's it. Clement, they pick two teams.
Right, we've not got a clue what the team's going to be tomorrow, right? Because it's not been mentioned, because we don't know who's fit. We don't know who's mentally scared. We don't know
How will pick a team? I think should pick a team that should get a draw.
You've got to go and win.
Aye, I know that.
Well, if you're going to inform, if you're going to inform, none of that 11 started there on Sunday is going to get a game, are they?
No, but most of them will be playing, mate. The same as they were.
True.
Same as they were after Berwick and they were after Hamilton, you know.
Well, I've got a couple. I'm having a couple of scapegoats in my team after Sunday.
I've got a big scapegoat in mine.
So I'm going to take two team on Sunday.
Give us it, mate. Give us it.
I hadn't actually thought of it. I just knew that I'm playing Ridvan at left back and I'm taking Yefty out. I just think, not having that on Sunday. And I know he's a decent player and he's a young player, but I just think putting Ridvan in shouldn't make much difference. Well, height, obviously, but apart from that, he's good enough to go in there. He gets forward, can pass the ball. Putting him back in at left back, and I would take Jeffy out. If I'm honest, Ox, and I would drop Rami and have Dessers and Dessers and Ignaman as two up there, and take Rami out. And probably most of the team will probably be the same. It's like Tav, Suter. Technically, I'd like to play Nsiala, but listen, it's 3 points on Sunday. And I think you'll probably have to go with the experience. But if you wanted to really test NCR out, there's no reason why we couldn't give him a game and play him. But we need to get a result first and foremost. They might contribute to it, but I think the experience will probably play proper. And I would probably play Ridvan at left back and make him a scapegoat for last week, Yefty. Raskin, Diamondi, Hadji, Cherny, Ignaman and Dessers.
So the front team, the front part's the same. Bajami, I get that. Anyway, Baloo's joined us. Evening, Baloo.
How you doing, boys? All right?
All right, mate.
Good, mate.
All right, bud.
How we doing?
You all right? That's no bad. I missed quite a lot of the show. I was doing something. I just thought, a quick blast. I would go with his team.
Listen, we can obviously work out what you were doing because it's Valentine's night, but thanks for finishing up and coming to join us. Carry on, mate.
Aye. One person cooking for one. For that stuff. I feel like loving a bottle of wine, please. Cheers. I'd go with that team. He just said I would change that as well. I'm good with that. Bajrami coming out and also Jeffy as well. I said that the other night. I said I'd pick the B-man. The funny thing is when we brought the Turkish boy in, we all said how small he was, but he was really effective defending, whereas he wasn't delivering quite as well as Barisic was, but he was still a better defender. So I think it's a no-brainer to put him in at left back.
I haven't really asked Ridvan. I don't know why. I mean, I know he was.
Ox. He's been playing about early place, man. He's been playing about early place.
I know that. I get that, mate. I just think I don't know. I think it's time to go. But I understand that Jeffrey made an error. You know, how better have you thought about your team?
No. I know it's not going to be 11. It started on Sunday.
You think that's say that again?
I said it's not going to be the 11. It started last Sunday. I'll tell you that for nothing. It'll probably be Butland, Tavernier, go Suter and Proper and Yefty, Diamandi and Raskin in the middle, and Igaman up front with Dessers and the rest of them is all for grabs because you could have changed that whole forward line for last week because it was a forward line that let you down big time with no scoring or no even looking at scoring. So I don't know. He could even put the two boys on Curtis and McCausland. The two of them should be battering these doors, and we can do better than them for Queen's Park. But they'll no happen. It'll be Cherny and Barjami, it's goes on, or Hadji. Probably Hadji.
I'm with Southside. I wouldn't start. I don't even know. There you go. I don't even know if I put Barjami in the squad.
But didn't they deserve to be in?
The invisible man.
We need to win this game. We need to win it. First and foremost, you need to go with experience. The guys that let us down last week, so they have to go and get the job done. You'd like to see a Finlay Curtis, but no so keen McCausland. But no, journey starts and that, and we've got to go gung ho for the start. We want to see high tempo into tackles, dictating the game, and it doesn't matter. This is what I'm saying. I've got the same thought as everybody out there. It doesn't matter because they've let you down the week before, but you've got to try and move away from this. This game's now Sunday, and it's about winning 3 points and the players showing a reaction, because that's all they can show is a reaction. But if they're nancing about and all that, there'll only be 594 is in that stone. But I'm telling you, if they start nancing about and that as they come down to warm up and the rest of them, and any of them come near the touchline, I'm sure they'll get dealt. So I expect better things on Sunday for the start.
Right. Hey, we've been joined by old Davey. Evening, David.
How you doing, guys? I must commend you on your expert opinions of what's been going on over this debacle, Suicide and Albert and yourself. It's been very difficult for you to try and get us sort of, how would you say, sink in. Maybe I'm just too old, but I'm not like to start going on about the manager. What happens there will happen there. I think I'm with Suicide on the extent of Sunday, right? Support them at the moment. It's 50-50. I'm even not even 50-50. But I can just imagine a lot of people want to even think of losing that game so that they can get rid of him. But as Albert said, it's easier said than done, but it's a difficult call, guys. Big difficult call.
Aye, we get it, mate. Aye, listen, mate, it's not been fun for any of us doing the show this week. It's hard when I'll let Albert come in and think we any defeat on here, it's not a bun of laughs, mate. We're bears and we talk half air as well, and we hurt like everybody else and get angry but we do this because it's a hobby, and we do it for people like yourself, Davey, and Baloo, and all the pod people listening, and it is thousands and thousands of people that listen. Sometimes we get a lot of new listeners, maybe Sunday night, for instance, they all just joined the show. I don't know if they're all Rangers supporters right enough, but aye. It's no easy when you lose a game and when you have catastrophic results like Sundays were. But aye, thanks for that, Davey. Paul Bear.
I mean, one of the things we're all forgetting about as well is this game on Sunday is going to show the character of some of these players to bounce back. You've got to show some sort of character here and go and get the victory. Southside saying, we need the victory, we want the victory. You always want Rangers to win, no matter where they're playing and what they're playing. You always want Rangers to win. If the game means something, it doesn't mean something. It depends your opinion, but I'm with Southside of the game, and he's saying it's not mathematically impossible yet. And once we get to mathematically impossible, you can understand saying it doesn't matter now, but it still matters. You've got to win these games, and you've definitely got to win these games as a Rangers player going forward. So get used to it. No matter when we play, who we play, we've got to win. We want to win. We're not going to settle for second best, and that's a fact, mate. But it'll be difficult.
Davey, any comment?
Aye, well, I mean, we can talk about character, and I don't think half that team's got any character. You give me 11 Queen's Park players, and I'll show you character. And we couldn't even match that. So, and look what they're getting compared to these boys that are getting paid peanuts. It's where that shot is when you go out there And that's something we've been lacking for a long time, is getting the players that know what that means. And that just wasn't there. If all the boys had Rangers top zone for Queen's Park, I'd have been over the moon. Because that's what they were there. That's what we should have been doing, but couldn't do it. Because we've not got the players that go to that.
Well, I mean, listen, they punched their weight way above their weight below, and old boys let themselves down badly, mate, badly.
Oh, for sure. And you can't disagree with what they just said. I think it's bang on. It's like no fighting spirit or nothing. Didn't see anything was going to happen. We could have been still playing the new, I don't think, with this squad. But I think it's just one of these really unfortunate results. It was just a really, really bad day at the office for everybody. I mean, there wasn't a player in the park I would put back out this weekend if I could avoid it. But like they said there a minute ago, he said, you want to see what they've got, you want to see what the size of their cojones, get back out there and fix this as best you can. You can't fix that result, but you better fix your own pride, you better fix your own capability and shows what you've actually got. Not just with your feet, in your heart. Go out there and play for the shirt. I mean, that's basically what was just said a minute ago is exactly what Hadji said. Said, you've got to, in the interview, you said, we've got to get back out there and we've got to, whether up until it's mathematically impossible, we've got to go out there and play. And even then, he said, you've still got to play. You've still got to show it. So he is at least talking like he understands it. But we'll see what happens.
Below, you get the show on in the background, mate.
Very, very low. Hold on a minute. Turn it down. You get that?
We're hearing it, mate. Can you turn it off, mate, if you don't mind, yeah?
Aye, it's
Cheers,
just I've got the... That's all right, it's done.
All right,
I was leaving my phone again. There you go.
Well, you end up talking to us. Carry on.
I think it's because my phone was leaning against the computer, so probably picking up the vibration through it. I'm there's nothing there to add, really, is there? Mm-hmm. It's basically they've just got to get there and they've got to show us. Nothing's going to fix last Sunday. Sunday's happened, and they're going to have to pay the price for that. They're going to have to take the abuse that they're going to get it. I mean, as I was saying a minute ago, as soon as a pass goes or somebody's getting slack on Sunday, they're going to hear about it, and they're going to hear about it for everybody. So they're going to have to buckle up and go on it. Just accept it and say, this is what they're going to get. Clement has to talk to them before they go into the pitch on Sunday and say, you're going to probably get some abuse out here today. It's up to you to keep it down to a minimum. And only you can do this because you caused this situation. So you've got to wake up and go on it.
Oh, can I come in on that?
On you go, mate. On you go, David.
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch. I didn't. I thought you tell me shut up as usual. No, I know. I can understand everybody's emotions and everything, but I'll tell you, as Albert mentioned, Berwick Rangers, I was 17, and the humiliation of that was pretty dire. But I tell you, Sunday took humiliation to another level. I hate to say that, but I'll tell you, I went up my golf club on Tuesday, and I get roasted, and everybody's going to get that for about the next 50 years. Whether we win next games or no games, the stigma of that result will stay with you for a long, long time, guys.
Yeah, it's funny how
it can't be accepted.
Mm-hmm. It's funny how some teams, but they have results. Clyde in the Scottish Cup, Raith Rovers in the League Cup final, Inverness, Galley, the lower league. They just didn't happen. But anyway, carry on.
What do you think about Ibrox Park against Queen's Park? There's no comparison. I know. I'm just saying it's embarrassment. It's atrocious.
Wow, I get it, mate. I mean, I don't. What do you do? In an ideal world, we'd like to chase everyone that was culpable, and that's what was that? 16 players or something that was on the park at the weekend. Was that right? 16. I think we made 5 subs, didn't we? Sewer, come on. Redvan, come on. Raskin, come on. Lawrence, come on, and Dessers, come on. So 16 players. So you get rid of them. So what is, that's what we'd like to do, because that's how we feel about it. But it's not going to happen. So we're stuck with what we've got, and especially with transfer windows, you can't move anybody. You like to assault to them on Monday morning, but you can't do it. But and I agree with Southside with Barjami. As I said, I wouldn't have him in the squad. I think he started. There's a lot of games. He had a decent game against him at Ibrox in the cup final, closing down and playing that position. But apart from the 2 games, I think he's been pretty anonymous. Southside.
He has been. That's how him and Jeffy for me be scapegoats. But listen, Davey, well, at some point we've got to move out of it. Do you know what I mean? At some point we've got to move on. And the next thing is we've had to wait a week for a game. Basically because we've done well in Europe and got into the last 16 automatically, So we're not having a game. We've had to dissect this all week, but we have to move away from it because the most important thing is we move on and we need to start winning again and get back to winning ways. Listen, I've seen us get beaten the Petrol Fat Cup at Easter Road. We've been beat out the cup with Dunfermline at East End Park. We've been beat at Hamilton at Ibrox, put us out with Souness and all that. Listen, now and again something like this happens. You never think it will happen again at Ibrox when we've seen Hamilton, but it has. But at some point you need to move on. And we don't know whether the guys at the moment, because his away form was bad, if you take that result away on Sunday, the thing you had to fix was fix the away results, be more consistent, and obviously wanted better performances, obviously. And we knew we still had to add players to this squad to help him and us as a club to try and get back to winning things. So there is a massive overreaction here. Everybody just wants to fling the toys out the pram and say, well, it's no good now. But at the end of the day, I'm focused on is when we go to Tynecastle is we pick up 3 points. The Rangers need to get back to winning.
I think we've been joined by Ross. Evening, Ross.
All right, bro. You saying, brother?
Aye, what's on your mind, mate?
Nah, I don't agree with what you just said there. I mean, we go to games week in, week out. We spend our money. Come on, it needs to go.
Albert.
What are you calling to me for, mate? Go to somebody
that's
that agrees with that. I can see your point, mate. I don't agree with it, but I can see your point. A lot of people agree with it as well. But
nah, it needs to go, brother. What do you think?
Well, no for me, mate. No for me.
What do you think? No for me. Come on. You watched the game last couple of weeks? You must have not laugh, brother. Come on.
Poor old bear.
Poor old bear. Southside.
Ross, do you travel home the way, mate? Aye. Right. Is they the same as myself, right? As we've seen this year, some of the league games have been minced at the start, right? I get it. I can understand it. Like Motherwell, if you're at Motherwell away, the first half, we only created 3 chances. They come up the park and scored twice, and that's the issue. We're leaking goals. No, at wrong times, and we're chasing games. We should have been on it for the start. I agree, Ross, in the game St Mirren and all. I felt like when I came out at St Mirren, we were mugged that day, But I think we've played in spells in games, but the away form's been critical, and that's what's put us right out this league this year.
I mean, can I stop you there? I mean, the referee European game, he stopped for 20 minutes, get a grip. See if you're asking the referee, get a grip, and let's go on the game. Let's go for it.
What game?
The European game that you played not long ago. He stopped for 20 minutes talking at the VR. I mean, all your fans are booing. I mean, nothing. Let's get a grip. Let's get a game played. On you go.
VR takes a lot of time for decisions, doesn't it, mate? That's the problem. When you're in the ground, like you say, you don't know what's happening.
I think we've also been joined by Domano. Evening, Domano.
Good evening, lads.
How we doing? Yeah, one of the guys I value greatly. Not that I don't value Baloo, And all day, I don't.
He's pulling himself out a whole new, guys. You've heard it live on air.
I don't value Old Davy's opinion. I love Old Davy and Southside up there as well. Right, Dominic.
Well, there's nothing really left to say about the performance, is there? There's that many words, expletives we can say that it's been done to death. People have been hanging on all week, getting angrier and angrier, waiting for information coming out of the club. And you knew right away after a day or two, nothing was getting said and nothing was going to get said. So people are just hanging about, waiting to get angrier and angrier, waiting for the day's press conference. And they were waiting to be. They were waiting for nothing. You know what I mean? Anybody with a bit of sense would know it wasn't happening the first day or two. It's not going to happen. See if it did happen. My suggestion would have been bring Gio in for the European run, which would have been ideal. But it's not happened, and obviously the board are standing by him because of Europe, Europe alone, I believe. If it wasn't in Europe, he would be. I think he would be bagged because Queen's Park was a terrible result. But again, the players are just as much to blame as the manager. We can all say about starting the youth, start the strongest team, and we all say that. But again, looking at that team, they should have been beating Queen's Park anyway. But to me, the players are massively. They were just complacent. It's as simple as they thought it could just turn up. Oh, it's only be Queen's Park, and I knew. I think I mentioned 60 minutes ago, and this is giving me the fear. We've not scored. You know what's coming. I think we all knew it was coming. I think most of the shots came in the last 5-10 minutes. It just wasn't good enough. Not one. You couldn't even pick one player, one man of the match. One player that get pass marks. So as I say, Southside says we need to move on, focus on Sunday, beat Hearts, then get the win. Hopefully get the wins going, and let's see what happens in Europe. That's Europe's my focus now. You know what I mean? That's the only hope I've got. So for the season,
Europe's not for everybody, don't matter. You know,
it's no, it's not. Especially some people are playing these wee games in between rounds. No, I mean we just went right through, as you do.
Are we avoiding the Diddy round? The Diddy round, we avoiding.
Aye. So we just need to soldier on, don't we? March on. No, I mean, look at the next game. We're all disappointed, really disappointed. Domestically, it's been a complete disaster. But you know what? We can either keep doing the dumps about it, or we just need to keep on going. And we need to keep. We can't stop. You know what I mean? As I say, the words have all been said all week.
Aye. And whether you stand with the manager, I accept your point that the players are as culpable as he was for Sunday, mate. I get it, but madly in the football industry, the manager carries the can completely, yeah.
It does, and some players down tools to get rid of managers. It's not right. They've got too much power, the players, haven't they? It's a kind of disgrace. At the end of the day, see when they go to the park, they're not playing for the manager. They're playing for the fans, the ones that are sitting there watching it in the freezing cold in the middle of the winter, following it out of the country, following them out of Europe. As far as I'm concerned, players aren't playing for the manager. Ultimately, they're playing for the fans. You know what I mean? And when they start down the tools, it's to me, they're not. It's not right. You know what I mean? But as far as the manager, I don't think we should start getting somebody in for the next couple of months. I think see how it is in Europe, and that's it. There's no point in bringing somebody in. We're basically in one competition, which he's done all right in. But he's done quite good. And if we go to the last 8, as much as that whole group, there's only a few points between a lot of the teams. And as I say, I think that needs to be our focus. It needs to be players' focus, as much as we still need to win every other week.
Here's a suggestion for you, Dominic. What about if at the beginning of the season you turn around and say to the whole squad, if during this season we have to get rid of the manager, you all lose 25% of your salary for the year? Anytime.
Hypothetically, it'd be good, but obviously the unions and that, they've got protection as well, the players, haven't they?
The union? What union, by the way? They've got them playing all these games, so don't say anything about it.
I know, even across Europe.
They don't even get double time for a Sunday, Albert.
No, they don't. I'll be looking for that right away. How bitter would that have been after last Sunday's result? And they're getting paid double time for this.
All right. Listen, we've reached that time of the evening. Last word for your good self, Demar. I want you to come in earlier because then we can.
I know. I've been.
No, just with the list. Heard less if you old Davey if you come in earlier.
On to Sunday. Let's get a win on Sunday. That's it. You know what I mean? Get 3 points on Sunday, and the players need to turn up. It's going to get nasty. You know what I mean? Really nasty. It's even worse than it has been.
Well, I don't know if it can make it worse, but anyway, Baloo, last word.
Maybe they should tie the contracts of the new players to the managers that they sign them on. Technically, not completely, but say, if he goes, then we've got an option to get rid of you. But anyway, that's just a thought. Come on, the Jers, give them a doing on Sunday. But again, I'll not forgive them for Sunday. But let's do the tap. Let's do the old jam taps and go in there. Come on, the Jers. Thanks for taking the call, boys. Cheers.
Cheers, Baloo. The one and only old Davey.
Hi guys, I've supported Rangers all my life. I'll never stop supporting them, and that'll be the same on Sunday. And once the dust settles, we'll get on with it, and hopefully things will start picking up where they fell apart at the moment. But we'll never stop supporting them anyway. So thanks for taking the call, guys, and stay safe, and God bless you, Jers.
Cheers, Davey. Cheers, mate. Albert.
Aye, good show tonight, mate. Enjoy being on yourself and Southside, the Techie boys. It'll be difficult on Sunday, mate. Hearts are not going to sit there and roll over. They'll smell blood as well, mate. But I'm confident Rangers can get a result. I'm hoping they'll get a result anyway. So, onward and upward, as I say. Onward and upward.
Well, we've been on the show, mate. I've been on my phone trying to tap some money because there's 2 Super Sixes this weekend, Albert.
I know. I'm already eyeing her purse up now.
If there's the back compartment, see if you can get me a couple of crispy notes, please.
Oh, I will, mate. I will.
Right, okay. Southside.
I thoroughly enjoyed the night, mate. Good to be on with Albert and your good self and getting a few callers in, talking about the team that we all love. Looking forward to Sunday. Tynecastle, 3 points is a must. Hopefully we'll get a good performance and a few goals. I'll see my big mucker Stevie through there on Sunday, so looking forward to it. Thanks for having us on. And since it's Valentine's night, I'll just say Roses are red, Rangers are blue. Celtic will be out of Europe on Tuesday, and that'll do. So, on that note, there's only one team and one crown, mate, so thanks for having us on.
They're like Palm Earls. He's more like Palm Earls and Robbie Ponds, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that was just half the tap of the head, mate, quickly there. No, I mean, you needs must.
I can't read.
Like a proper header, mate.
I can't read out Foxy's, did he?
That good.
You were struggling there to get something to rhyme with blue.
Hey, Southside, did you get a box of Maltesers with that poem?
Milk tray, man, mate. Milk tray.
all because. Listen, thanks to Baloo, Davey, and Kilmarnock who joined us tonight. Albert and Southside for doing the show. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. RangersRadio will be back an hour before the kick-off on Sunday, looking at the team selection for the game. Thanks for listening. Get behind Southside Super Six tomorrow. Take it away, Old School Blue.